Hello, I'm Bruce Zimmerman, and this is the Open Line Garden Show podcast for this week. Now, we continue with the AAS winners for 2018. The next one I'd like to do is an edible, and it is a pepper. Now, this is a pepper habanero roulette. It looks like an habanero pepper in fruit, shape, size, color, etc. But there's no heat. Okay? Did you hear that? No heat. The AAS National Winners 1 ounce fruit are red with thick walls. It matures. It has a nice citrusy, no heat habanero flavor. This really sort of throws people off because it's a no heat habanero. And each plant will produce 10 or 11 fruits at one time and up to 100 per season. You'll find that this one is an excellent plant. It is, of course, coming in as a edible, and the result is that even the kids can eat this one. So it's got that flavor of lemon a little bit, and it does come through as well. Needs full sun, normal water needs like any other pepper, but it does like a warm season. It doesn't require staking, and the foliage, of course, is green and bushy. The plant could be as much as 3.5 feet high. The fruit color can be red or green. It depends on whether you want to let it ripen up. I prefer these ones at red. Acorn is the fruit shape. The fruit is about 3 inches by about 1.5 inches and weighs about an ounce. So in the garden, you want to place it on 2-foot spacings. It's 120 days from seeding to harvest, and days from transplant is 85. So it's a long day one. So you want to start this one relatively early. The plants can actually spread out 3 feet, so the garden spacing at 2 feet is an absolute must. You can start seeding these indoors at 85 degrees Fahrenheit, that's soil temp, and transplant in 35 to 40 days after sowing. You've got what you'll find and you can tell when it's time to transplant, is when it's got 3 to 4 true leaf for peppers, okay? Fertilize with a balanced fertilizer and water as needed. A lot of the judges like this one because of the taste, because it has thick walls and good taste, and they like the no heat idea. So it was really good that way. Some of the judges found that instead of 10 to 11 at a time, most of the ones that they were used to sort of in this time, not this sort of group of peppers, was only 5 to 7. So it's a good strong plant. It's fairly large, but it's good for containers, and of course it's got big yields. So that's the best one right there. I like the idea of no heat, okay? And so that to me is really good. Now, the next one is a Hungarian-Mexican sunset pepper, and it's going to be very different. This is a full spectrum of colors from lime green to yellow, then orange and red as the fruit matures. Its conical, pendant-shaped peppers produce a thick wall, always important with peppers, that can be eaten at any stage. The fruits are semi-hot. They're attractive, of course. They have some ornamental value because of the various different colors. And so it is also good for pickling and, of course, for fresh. They'll like this one simply because it matures early and has a very high yield. Now, it is an AAS winner. It is best in warm regions. So it has been shown to be best in the southeast, mountain, and southwest. But it doesn't mean we can't try. You never know. We could have a season like last year. And it is, of course, edible. The loves full sun. Dry to normal is the watering. Warm season and doesn't require staking. I can see the dry to normal just judging by where it is best growing. It's bushy. The height is 20 to 22 inches. The pale green, yellow, orange, and red fruit is conical. It's about 6 to 7 inches long and weighs 1.5 to 2 ounces. It's a medium hot, and you get about 40 plus fruits per plant. In the garden, you can use it in containers. The garden spacing is only 12 to 15 inches. You need to sow this seed 80 to 85 days before you want to start harvesting it. If you're doing it from transplant, then the harvesting will occur 60 to 65 days. Plant spreads 15 to 18 inches, and it has a lot of disease resistance or tolerances to TMV, which is important in peppers and tomatoes. This one is going to be good in urban settings. It's going to be good on balconies, decks, particularly where it's going to be a little hotter. So you may want to try the heat bounce from other plants, containers, maybe even a black pot to sort of attract and hold the heat. It will give you a nice contrast. If you're using the black pot and you've got all these yellow limes and oranges and reds in this pepper, it could be quite attractive. It is just slightly hot, so not bad. It's got good flavor and basically lots of fruit. Now the next one is going to be one that you can have a lot of fun with, and that is tomatoes. And you know I like tomatoes, okay? I'm a little biased, and so let's just do one of the regional tomatoes. Now this is one of the AAS regional winners. It's a Chef's Choice tomato. Now this is a red, okay? It is a globe-shaped red tomato, beefsteak type. In other words, it's firm and it's really solid. A lot of people who loves tomatoes, love cooking with tomatoes, like to grow a firm, fleshy tomato, and that's what you've got right here. It's got a good balance of acid to sugar, so that just means it tastes really good. And huge yields. They really like this one. 8-ounce fruits and strong 5-foot indeterminate vines. Okay? And that's pretty good. Why an indeterminate tomato is 5 foot? I don't know. I thought indeterminate just kept going. But anyways, harvest 30 or more of the fruit per season per plant. It's got disease resistance, dark green leaves, and it's basically well behaved. So you've got a good type of tomato. It comes and is best in the southeast, west, and northwest. Okay, that's why it's a regional winner. Dry to normal for a tomato, which is a little unusual. Warm season and does require staking. Okay, it's an indeterminate. That's to be expected. Plant height is still 4 to 5 feet. Fruit color is red. It's a flattened globe. Fruit size is 6 to 7 inches. In other words, that's pretty darn big. Fruit weighs 7 to 8 ounces or more, and a good balance of acid to sugars that are similar to the heirloom tomatoes, with 30 or more tomatoes per plant. In the garden, you want to plant this one 18 to 20 inches apart. And the days to harvest it from sowing is 100 to 105. That means you got to start this one under lights in the house and really get it going in decent size. Transplant or put into individual pots in order to make sure that you've got sized up plants going out in order to really enjoy this one in our area. Plant spreads 2 feet, and it's got disease resistance and tolerance to V, F, and F. Okay? So basically go with this one only if you want a little bit of a challenge for year length. How's that? In other words, your growing season should be long and should be good. I'm Bruce Zimmerman. This is the Open Line Garden Show podcast for this week.